All right, pick 10. 80's number 6. Chase? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Number 7. You'll know. Little Monsters, which is a first watch for me. So, I only have one more movie I've seen before in this. So, 3 out of 4 left are first watches. The story revolves around two brothers, played by real-life brothers, Fred and Ben Savage, as they move their parents to a new neighborhood, a new town, and Brian finds out that there is a monster underneath his brother's bed. I've watched a couple of reviews, and in every review they say, monster's under his bed. No, he stays in his brother's room. It's his brother's bed. Stays under his brother's bed, and it is played by Howie Mandel, who was Gizmo in Gremlins. So this is a movie I've heard about for years, but never sat down to watch it. Never had the 1, 2, but I bought this. I love the Vestron. Look at this. It's a little rough. Look how cool that is. It's nice. It's not the only Vestron one I have in here, by the way. But it's cool. And I heard they went bankrupt, so how is there a Vestron video collector series? Maybe it's just a series. It's through Lion Gate. Yes. So, yes. So, first thing I'm going to criticize is how they get around to him finding the monster. It seems like padding to me. But I mean, so they moved in his house, and the monster's under his brother's bed. And he doesn't believe there's a monster in there. Like Brian doesn't believe there's a monster under his brother's bed. But he makes a bet with his brother and his brother's friend Todd to stay in the room, where he gets freaked out and stays on the couch. But then, which you find out later, isn't safe. But he then stays in his brother's room again, and that's when he meets Maurice. Why couldn't it just be? We find out they can go underneath. As long as there's a bed, he can come underneath. So why do you have to be in his brother's room to find it? Also, Fred Savage plays Brian, right? Their dad is played by Daniel Stern. If you don't get what that is, what would you do if I sang out of tune? Yes, Fred Savage is known best for being Kevin Arnold on the Wonder Years. But on the Wonder Years, there's a narration from an older version of Kevin that's telling the stories that we see on the show. The older Kevin Arnold is voiced by Daniel Stern. That's not the only connection Daniel Stern has to another cast member. The bully in this film is played by Devin Ratrat. It's not on here. Who played Buzz in Home Alone, which also has Daniel Stern in it. And Ben Savage wasn't Boy Meets World. It's one of my favorite shows, so I'll put it out there. So, yes. So, sorry, I'm trying not to yawn. So that's just a weird casting thing. But yes, Howie Mandel as Maurice. Oh my god. When they first introduce him, I'm like, oh my god, somebody shoot him. he's just going, oh look, oh, that makes the cards. Got it, need it, got him, need him, got him, need him, got him, need him, need him, need him, need him, need him, got him, need him, got him, need him, got him, need him. Hi, hey, oh, what you do? It's like the way he did the Bobby's World stuff, but it's really weird. Very annoying. Yeah, and so they established that Maurice is caught doing pranks. He's eating the ice cream. He's leaving the bike in front of the car. And Brian is getting in trouble for it. But my question is, why is Brian the only suspect? There are 2 children in this house. And every time something happens, it's automatically point the finger at Brian. Like, so, the ice cream, someone ate ice cream. Brian's bike is parked out in front of the garage, which the dad should have seen when he went in to get the car, which you can argue the dad did it on purpose. Oh, he leaves the bike out, it's going to get ran over, but then he scratches his own car. If he did that, then it would scratch his own car, which it does, and then he still yells at Brian. But why is Brian automatically the one we point the finger at? There are 2 kids. Look, as an older brother, I've been in this situation. Your siblings, or in this case, younger brother, does something, you get blamed for it, and no one believes you when you say it's them. Like, oh, I don't know, leaving the bedroom door open before you go to school, and which allows the cats to come in and eat your older brother's bird. And even to this day, they still won't believe it was him that left the door open. I tried to tell my son that it's my brother. I'm going to say, no, you left the door open. No, I didn't. To this day, I remember shutting the damn door. I shut that door. My brother left the door open. Sorry. I've been in situations where you try to say something, oh, your little brother did it, and it's just an excuse for your parents because they don't believe you. I've been in that situation, and to that point, I don't like that part of the film. Why they just point at Brian, and it comes down to, you're the older brother, you should know better, but what if you didn't do it? I'm just saying. In this case, he didn't do it, but you know. And yes, we have this your standard bully. But in defense, it is Buzz from Home Alone, and he's good at being a bully. And this was the 80's where the bully stereotype was a big thing. So I can't really harp on that. We got a love interest of sorts, Kirsten, but she's not really like they play around, you know. Oh, yeah, you might like her, and then Marie starts going, Brian's got a girlfriend, which automatically makes me think of Chop Top and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Bubba's got a girlfriend, Bubba got a girlfriend, Bubba got a girlfriend, Bubba got a girlfriend. It made me think of him right away. So Maurice takes Brian underneath the bed to the monster world. Yes, oh, by the way, the monsters live in a world underneath the bed, and they can go to multiple places around the world to scare children. Now, why does that sound familiar? Methinks Disney ripping this movie off. Just saying. I know there's some claims that Monsters Inc. was done after a comic strip or a set of cartoons or something, but come on. It's too big of a coincidence. But yes. And if that's all it amounted to was he can go around the world, he can go around the world and see things, that's one thing. But they put in this stupid plot line that made me scratch my head. If a human stays, keeps going to the monster world, he will turn into a monster. Even though they don't start turning into monsters, they just have the thing where if they're in light, their arms shrink. But they don't look like monsters. Probably because all the makeup budget was given to the rest of the monsters, and we didn't have a budget left to have the kids turn into monsters. And of course, that becomes a big plot point at the end of the film. The monsters, because apparently it's Maurice's job to turn Brian into a monster, even though he doesn't want to do it, but they kidnap Eric. That's Boy Meets World. That's Corey from Boy Meets World. They kidnap him, and so he has to come save the day. He brings in Todd, which is the brother's best friend, and his little girlfriend, Kirsten, and eventually the bully for some reason. There is a thing where Maurice drinks the bully's apple juice and then pisses in a jar, the bottle thing. That's kind of funny, you know. Put piss in my apple juice. That is kind of funny. It's funny to me. Okay, it's funny. But they all come to save the day. Saving the day. And we're introduced to Boy, played by Frank, say what again, Whaley, who was in, what ain't no country I ever heard of. He was in Pulp Fiction, and he plays the main villain, I guess. You guys heard of Rick Duku? Man, how do you pronounce that? Rick Dukelman, who's been in many things like Blank Check, and he's been in a lot of things. He had bit parts in a lot of things, mainly Blank Check and other stuff. But yeah, he plays the main he plays like a henchman, but he's actually the last one that they defeat, really. But yes, and then they ended this film. They defeat the monsters like freaking Maurice takes a flamethrower to him, and then they gotta get out of there. And this whole end had me just rolling my eyes. It's like, okay, gotta hit you home. As they go to get up, the sun's already come up, so they can't go up, and so if they're stuck there, they'll be monsters permanently. Even though none of them started changing into monsters. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So they try to go to other ones. But they don't make it in time to any of them until they get to Malibu in California. Now, I can't try to understand time zones. They're in Philadelphia, right? In Pennsylvania. So, Philadelphia is 2 hours ahead of central, where I am, like Minnesota, right? So I knew they were going to Malibu because I read ahead on Wikipedia. I'm like, okay, they're going to Malibu. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why are they going to Malibu? If the sun's risen in Philadelphia, it's 2 hours behind in, say, Minnesota or Iowa. And they go past Des Moines and they say, oh, the sun's up in, like, Chicago or something like that. And I'm like, wait, it took you 2 hours to run from the other thing of Philadelphia to there? It's just showing that it's just little cities. By the way, this underground world looks like the backstage of a play. It's terrible. But like, I don't think it would take them 2 hours to run underneath. And wait, no, Philadelphia. Hold on. If Big LT Radio is watching this, which you probably won't, but you might. Before you even start texting me, let me think. Okay? Philadelphia is only an hour ahead of us. Right? So that makes sense. But that still doesn't make any sense because California, which is all over there, is 2 hours ahead of us, right? That's Pacific time. So why would the sun have come up yet? Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, you think Philadelphia... No, if you can't get in the central time zone, you're screwed. But yet they go to Malibu in California, and the sun hasn't come up yet, even though it's 2 hours ahead of Central Time and an hour ahead of Eastern Time. How does that make any sense? And by the way, when they start going up there, the sun is up. I don't know. And then they have to call the parents. By the way, there is a subplot for no reason where just out of nowhere in the middle of the movie, they say, the dad says, we're not going to live in the same house for a while. So we're hinting at divorce. Even though they say, no, it's not divorce. It's a separation. But, like, it doesn't go anywhere. Because by the end of the film, she's like, oh, dad's here. And I'm just like, okay, that subplot went fucking nowhere. Like, why was it even in there? It just makes no sense. And they have to explain, but then... yeah. The explanation probably is he's in California. He's got to take his little brother to play Super Mario at a video game contest. And Bo Bridges and Christian Slater are going to come and rescue them. If you haven't figured out, that's the wizard. It's the wizard. But it takes place in California. That's where the thing is at the end. But I just love that. Like, he's in California. Okay, let's do the wizard. You know? And hey, you could do that. You could watch this and then follow it up with the wizard, which I don't have yet, but I eventually will get, and just kind of do it back to back. Like, okay, Fred Savage is now in California at the end of this. Pop in the wizard, even though he's not in California at the beginning of that movie. But you know what I mean. But overall, I thought this movie was okay. And when I think a movie is okay, that means it sits in the middle of the road. This wasn't, this is... yeah. I can't even say it's so bad it's good, because there's some funny stuff, but it's not like really, really bad stuff that is so funny. And no, it's a middle of the road movie for me. And so far, I think this is the lowest one that I have, which is really weird. All the other ones are pretty good to perfection. This is the only one that's middle of the road right now. So, but if it ends up being I have three more. If it ends up being at the bottom, and the one at the bottom is only a middle of the road, then I didn't make that bad choices. But what are your thoughts on Little Monsters? Let me know in the comments below. We gotta pick the next one, and it's a DVD. And where is my bag? Hello? It's way over here. Okay. Shake it up. Better Off Ted. Dead. Better Off Dead. Better Off Ted was a TV show. Better Off Dead. I knew it. I knew Fast Times at Ridgemont High was going to be the last one I did. But I will do this one possibly tomorrow. Most likely, yes. But Better Off Dead's the next one, so look for that. So, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.